And welcome back to another daily devotion. I am Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Monday, May 20th of 2024. We're quite a ways through the month of May already, and we're quite a ways through the book of Philippians. Today, we will start chapter 4. We're going to look at the first three verses only. We'll try to keep this one short. I have a couple coming here in about a half an hour for a premarital counseling session, and I need to get a little bit more preparation done for that. Nothing more important than premarital counseling, I think. Something we really all should make sure we have. If you're thinking about getting married, get some premarital counseling. Talk to somebody that can tell you a little bit about what you need to expect and be ready for. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump into the first three verses of chapter 4 in Philippians, shall we? Therefore, my brethren, whom I love and long for, my joy and crown, stand firm thus in the Lord, my beloved. I entreat Euodia and I entreat Syntyche to agree in the Lord. And I ask you also, true yokefellow, help these women, for they have labored side by side with me in the gospel, together with Clement and the rest of my fellow workers, whose names are in the book of life. Okay, a couple things that we need to notice here. First of all, we've been saying that Philippi was Paul's joy because it had the least amount of issues. But there's some issues here. Again, we've got Syntyche and Euodia that seem to be having some kind of a spat, if you will, some kind of a disagreement, and wants them to agree in the Lord, to remember who we're serving. We need to remember that when we're having disputes in a church. We're together serving the Lord. It's not about us, not about those egos, not about who came up with the idea, who gets the credit, any of that. It's about doing God's work, bringing people to Christ. That's what it's all about, to agree in the Lord. But we see here that even this church that was Paul's pride and joy wasn't a perfect church, wasn't a perfect organization. They still had problems. They still had some spats, if you will, some disagreements and things that needed to be taken care of. So he's entreating the whole church to help these two women to settle their differences, that they've worked with him. And that's the other thing. We see here that Paul certainly was not against women in any way, shape, or form. So if you're thinking that Paul minimized women in any way, that's not true. Help these women, for they have labored side by side with me in the gospel. They have been there working all along. And I know I'm more of a moderate as far as things go, so I don't have a problem with women in the pulpit. I'll be honest, my wife does not like women in the pulpit. She doesn't believe that. She's more conservative than I am. She doesn't like listening to women ministers. She prefers to I don't think she'd ever attend a church that had a woman pastor, to be quite honest. That's just her way of thinking. Nothing wrong with that. That's her way of being. But I don't see it as an issue. We certainly have elders, women elders here. The church, we have women deacons. We have women that are in the majority of the leadership roles are women. So anyone that would besmirch women's leadership in the church, you're all wet. Paul had women there working with him side by side. In his eyes, I think they were just as capable, if not more. I think women are more capable than us guys. So, oh well. The other thing I want to point out is Clement. Now, this very well might be that Clement that wrote the book of First Clement. Second Clement he didn't write. That's attributed to Clement of Rome. But First Clement, which is written by Clement of Rome, very well may be this fellow here. That's cool. That's very cool. And if you've not read the book First Clement, it's a non-canonical book, but I would recommend it. It has some of the most beautiful rhetoric in it, just soaring praise and rejoicing of the Lord. Has that troublesome phoenix in there, but remember the phoenix is a symbol of Christ. So, at any rate, that's nothing to do with Philippians, but it is cool that Clement gets a little bit of a notoriety here. He gets a little recognition, I guess I should say there. All right, that's what I've got for you today. Like I said, I wanted to keep this one short. Remember, women are just as important in the serving of Christ, and remember, always remember, no matter what. There's no such thing as a perfect church. You got people in it, for crying out loud. That's the problem. Church would be great if it weren't for the people. I've heard pastors say that before, tongue in cheek when they do it, at least to a small degree. But that's what it's all about, serving people. So that's what I've got for you today. Like I said, we'll probably wrap this up, Philippians, on Wednesday, 2 more days, and we'll be done. And if you have any ideas of what you'd like me to jump into next, let me know. Have a blessed day. And remember, please be a blessing to someone today. Tell them about Jesus. God loves you. Bye-bye.